Hello, I'm Katie Griffith, your social media marketer, and I am here today with an update, little news flash, and a LinkedIn tip for today. So today we'll just focus on LinkedIn. So a couple of, I don't know, probably 2 months ago in June, maybe beginning of June, end of May, I read an article on Forbes magazine where it was talking about some of the updates that's coming to LinkedIn. And one of them was that they were moving the main dashboard around. So let me take you to the dashboard here. So they were going to move this around. So this weekend I went on and I was checking my LinkedIn and I wanted to go to my home. I wanted to go home so I could see my news feed. Now go home. Well, it's right here. And I know that it was right there because here's a video I made just last week. The home button's right next to the network, right? Home. And here's the LinkedIn button. Here's the home. Here's the network. Well, when I logged in, here's my network, but where was my home button? So it took me a minute, but they just moved the home button to the little LinkedIn sign over here. So if you logged in like me over the weekend or today when you came back to work and you were like, "Where's the home button?" It's no big deal. I mean, it's just a tiny little change, but there's this blank space here now. So it's over here. I guess they'll probably roll something new out to fit in here. They're trying to make it, they say, look more like Facebook, but they got a long way to go for that. But anyway, if you wanted to, get to anything and you just click your home button here and it'll take you to back to the same place it used to before your news feed. So wanted to share that update with you. And now I'll give you my LinkedIn tip for the day. It's about image sizing for LinkedIn. I get a lot of questions about this one, so I'm just going to go ahead and address it here. So let me go back to the post that I just had up. Give it just a minute to come back up here. And if you look at my post, I've actually sized my posts to fit correctly on LinkedIn when you post. So I know a lot of people post from, let's say, Hootsuite or another, Sprout Social or Buffer or whatever you're posting from your API. This will apply to marketers. I stopped doing that a long time ago. Of course, everybody does things their own way, but I don't like the way that it posts to anything LinkedIn related from a third party posting, especially links. That cuts the photos off. Sometimes it doesn't scrape the link and it pulls all the entire metadata that's associated. So some blogs will pull nothing and it would look just fine and you have no problem with your blog. And if that's the case, keep on keeping on. But if it doesn't scrape some of the metadata and it pulls over, sometimes it'll pull over an entire page of text along with the URL that you're trying to share, and it looks terrible. And you can tell. I mean, I'm not going to point things out here because I don't want to upset anybody or make a big deal about it. It looks yucky, and you can tell. You can tell that it was just like not thought about at all. So I actually do hand post to all my clients LinkedIn's, and I resize everything. So if I'm posting to your profile and your company page, I make the posts to fit. So here's my profile, and here 51 minutes ago I shared this post. This post was created and then resized for my LinkedIn profile. So I want to give you the LinkedIn profile size, and it lets you use the whole thing. It lets you use the whole space instead of if you posted this and let's say it was an Instagram post, it would look a lot smaller. So, I'll show you here in a minute. But so the correct size for LinkedIn is 1800 by 1200 pixels. So if you want to make your images look fantastic on LinkedIn, it's 1800 by 1200. That's the perfect. And then if you can see, I always give a little buffer. So I've got this purple and white area just to give me, and then I post inside the pink area. And you can do that for anything. You could do that even without having layers like I have here. You can just do it, let's say I just wanted to do it on that purple background with no pink and white. You can do that, but just move everything in just a tad so it doesn't get cut off. A little buffer around each side, okay? And then here's what the same post looks like on my business page. Let's see if I can find it. It should be up here. Yep, here it is right here from this morning. So so I posted this and here it is here. And you can see I've used the whole entire size for the image. So if you post something that's smaller pixels, or let's say 700 by 500 or whatever, a smaller picture, it's going to be smaller, and it's just going to look, it's going to look like this, to be honest with you. It's either going to cut it off. I've done a few when I've been in a hurry. It's not a good idea. So here's one that I did that cuts my picture off. Why? Because I shared my blog. This bit.ly goes to this blog article. Well, guess what? Not a good idea. This is what it should actually look like right here. So this is when I shared it correctly with the correct LinkedIn sizes right here. And you can read the whole thing. You can see that it cut off right after social media tips. It just cut off the rest of it. Well, what's the point? Like, the point is that should just be deleted. And you can see this was posted 6 days ago, and this was posted 6 days ago. And so I really should just delete this picture. And I left it because I wanted to show the difference. So I've just deleted that. There's no point in having both of them. But if you're going to post, here's another good example. This was one I was just testing out. I just did make these because it's just a good way to show you. This was an Instagram photo that I had hooked up, and I said, I'm going to be busy today. I'm not going to be home. I'm just going to hook it up to my API and let it post for me. Well, just describe your lunch. Well, that's not actually at all what it says. Here's the actual picture itself. And its Instagram is down, just describe your lunch. Now that's much more funny, right? And you can see it's 600 by 420. It's not the right size. And that's why it cuts it off. It's what is the point of that picture? There is no point, ladies and gentlemen, no point in it. You might as well just it just don't even post. It just looks, it looks terrible. So I wanted to leave some of these just to give you, see, that's what it really should look like when I posted it the correct way. But as you can, it's really not the correct way. This should really be sized to fill this whole area right here. So this just needed to be resized. So what it's doing is it's not using this area. You can still see it, but it's smaller. If it was sized correctly, it would fit right into that rectangle. So just some tips and tricks I wanted to show you. Sometimes you're in a hurry and you can't do it, but you can see that mine are mostly the same size. Now this one was a little smaller, but I wanted it that way. And then here's one that fits right in there, right? And then here's one that I just resized to fit right in the middle. And then here's my today's post. And they just look better. It looks more professional. You can read it. The writing isn't really small. It's not far away. It's not cut off. And I never share links with I never share the image that comes with the link. I separately download the picture and upload the picture to manually to LinkedIn, because it just, you get more impressions, your reach is better, and that's another trick and tip for another day. But always post your picture separate if you want it to look fantastic. So I just like the way this looks. And if you're big on LinkedIn and you post on LinkedIn every single day, go back and look at some of your posts and see how much your time you're wasting. Because I promise you, if your picture's cut off or it's too small because the it's too small pixels, 600 by 400 was way too small. So the smaller it is, the smaller way it looks, and people cannot read it. So maybe you could read the first maybe 2 or 3 lines, but if you get anything smaller, you can't read it. So that was just my tip for the day. And let me give you the company size. The company size is 1200 by 628. So again, the profiles should be 1800 by 1200, and the company update should be 1200 by 628. If you're in a big hurry, you can use the 1200 by 628 company size for everything LinkedIn. It just makes it look a little bit smaller on your profile page. So here it is here. And if I was to just go ahead and share that, it would just be a tad bit smaller. That's up to you. I'm not going to post it, but it's just so that you can get the idea. Always go with the smaller size if you're going to post across the board. And I wouldn't choose the Instagram, because this is what it looks like. I don't like it. It's just too small. If it would fill out like Facebook lets it fill out, yeah, I would use it, but I posted that just so you could see. All right, so take the time and make the sizes right for each platform that you're using. And if you're a business owner I know you guys don't have time to do this. You're just going to post, but make sure at least what you're posting is not going to be cut off. So when you post it, check your feed and make sure that your pictures are not getting cut off, because it kind of is like besides the point. You want it, people are just going to scroll past it. So, okay, if you have any questions, you can give me a call. I am at 513-973-9808, and I'd be happy to answer your questions. Thank you. Talk to you guys later.